On a quiet summer evening in a small village in Pakistan, the life of a young British woman took a sudden and mysterious turn. Found lifeless at the bottom of a staircase, her body bore subtle but unsettling clues that pointed to something far more sinister than an accident. Her father reported the tragedy to the police, claiming it was an unfortunate fall. However, inconsistencies in his story raised doubts that couldn't be ignored. What happened in those final moments? Why did her plans to return to her life abroad abruptly halt? And who among those she trusted most knew the truth about her untimely death? This is the story of Samia Shahid, a story steeped in secrets, betrayal, and a quest for justice that crossed continents. Samia Shahid was born on November 15, 1987, in Bradford, West Yorkshire, United Kingdom, a city known for its vibrant South Asian community. Her parents, Chowdhury Mohammed and Imtiaz Bibi, had immigrated from the small village of Panduri in Pakistan, seeking a brighter future. Samia and her sister, Madia, grew up navigating the delicate balance between their Pakistani heritage and the modern realities of British life. The Shahid family was well known in their community, not just for their size, but also for their entrepreneurial endeavors. Chowdhury Mohammed and Imtiaz Bibi operated a limousine and car rental service, while other relatives owned local businesses, including a fish and chip shop and a flower store. Samia was a cheerful and spirited young woman who cherished her large, extended family. She had a particularly close relationship with her father, whose opinions often shaped her decisions. Her love for him was evident, as she frequently placed his wishes above her own, a dynamic that would come to define much of her life. Despite living in a Western society, the Shahid family held firmly to their Pakistani culture and Islamic faith, practicing Sunni Islam, which guided many aspects of their daily lives. For example, while Samia enjoyed the thrill of driving fast cars, it was an activity her family disapproved of. Still, she managed to indulge in it secretly. By 2012, at 25, Samia's parents decided it was time for her to marry. Following cultural traditions, they arranged for her to wed Shakil, a cousin from their ancestral village. Although Samia had always thought of Shakil as more of a brother than a life partner, she agreed to the marriage out of respect for her family's wishes. Her decision reflected the importance she placed on earning her family's approval, even at the expense of her happiness. The wedding preparations were extravagant, with her father sparing no expense to ensure she had everything she desired. Outwardly, Samia seemed enthusiastic about the celebration, but she privately confided in a friend that she felt she was making the biggest mistake of her life. Her sister, however, later insisted that Samia had willingly chosen Shakil from several suitors, emphasizing the distinction between an arranged marriage and a forced one. The wedding, held in the village of Panduri, was a grand affair attended by over 1,000 guests, including many from Bradford. After the ceremony, Samia and Shakil moved into a house near her family home, a gift from her father. However, adjusting to life in the village proved difficult for Samia, and after just 4 months, she returned to Bradford alone, citing the need to complete immigration paperwork for her husband. Despite this explanation, Samia delayed the process, and her friends noticed a shift in her demeanor. She seemed distant and quietly resentful toward her parents. While the marriage had been formalized in Pakistan through a nikah, a traditional Islamic contract, it lacked legal recognition in the UK, as no civil ceremony had been performed. This legal gap highlighted the tension between the cultural and legal frameworks shaping Samia's life. Though Samia initially complied with her family's expectations, her actions and emotions revealed a growing conflict between her desires and her obligations to her heritage. Her struggles became more apparent when Shakil became the topic of discussion. She confided in friends that she felt suffocated by his controlling nature, even while living in a different country. Shakil insisted on constant communication, demanding daily Skype calls and frequent updates, which left Samia feeling trapped. In August, Samia sent a distressing voice message to a friend, confessing that she hated her life, wished to die, and no longer wanted to remain married to Shakil. However, her family presented a different narrative. Relatives in Bradford claimed that Samia often spoke proudly of her lavish wedding and appeared content in her marriage. They questioned why she would voluntarily return to Pakistan if she was truly unhappy. These contrasting accounts revealed the hidden cracks in Samia's marriage, cracks that only deepened over time. The once vibrant and sociable Samia had re-emerged, and the reason for her renewed happiness became clear. She had connected online with Syed Mukhtar Kazim, also known as Ali, a Pakistani man with British citizenship working in Dubai. Their bond, initially built on friendship, grew into something deeper when they met in London in October 2013. Ali was everything Samia had yearned for in a partner: kind, understanding, and loving. Confiding in him, she shared the pain of feeling trapped in a marriage arranged by her family with someone she regarded more as a sibling than a spouse. Ali was appalled by her situation and vowed to help her reclaim her freedom. Determined to start a new life together, Samia decided to end her marriage to Shakil. Unable to pursue a divorce through British courts as their marriage was under Sharia law, she approached the Islamic Sharia Council. In May 2014, she formally requested a divorce, citing coercion and lack of consent. When Shakil refused to cooperate, the cleric ruled the marriage invalid, enabling Samia to move forward. Later that year, in a small private ceremony attended by trusted friends, Samia and Ali were married, with both a nikah and a legal civil registration. For Samia, it was a moment of pure joy. She confided in friends that she had never felt happier. But her happiness was short-lived. In October 2014, Samia was ambushed in an alley and beaten with metal rods while walking with a cousin. The attack targeted her legs and left her covered in bruises. Although she reported the assault to the police, Samia believed it was orchestrated by her family, who had discovered her new marriage. A call to her parents from the police station confirmed her fears. Her family responded with verbal abuse, which officers overheard, offering a glimpse into the toxic environment she endured. Living under constant scrutiny, Samia felt suffocated by the weight of her family's expectations and cultural traditions. Ali gave her hope for a life of independence and love, but the cost of breaking free was steep. By May 2015, her parents discovered her divorce from Shakil and erupted in fury, refusing to recognize its legitimacy. They insisted the Sharia Council had no authority, claiming she was still married under both UK and Pakistani laws. Her mother's constant accusations of disgrace only heightened the tension. Fearing for their safety, Samia and Ali realized that remaining in Bradford was no longer an option. Stories of honor-based violence weighed heavily on Samia and Ali's minds, prompting swift action. With the help of trusted friends, Samia secured a visa for Dubai and quietly booked her flight. Leaving her family was a painful but necessary choice. She prioritized her happiness over their approval. After her departure, her parents reported her missing, refusing to accept her independence. Upon learning of her marriage to Ali, they denounced it as illegitimate and labeled her relationship adulterous under Muslim law. Enraged, they confronted the cleric who had officiated the wedding, issuing threats that forced him to seek police protection. In Dubai, Samia embraced a new life, filled with freedom and love, sharing her joy openly on social media and dreaming of starting a family. Yet, she couldn't entirely sever ties with her parents, often reaching out in hopes they might one day accept Ali. Her father, however, remained firm in his rejection, even calling Ali to demand he leave Samia. Despite their resistance, Samia persisted, torn between her longing for family reconciliation and the life she had built with Ali. In June 2016, tragedy struck when Samia's aunt, Shakil's mother, passed away. Though she considered returning to Pakistan for the funeral, Ali strongly advised against it due to safety concerns. Shortly after, Samia received alarming news about her father's deteriorating health. Torn by love and fear, she decided to return despite Ali's objections. On July 14, 2016, Samia boarded a flight to Pakistan, promising Ali she would be safe and hopeful for reconciliation. Yet, as she left, an unsettling sense of dread lingered, underscored by the chilling message she sent a friend before boarding. "Pray that I return alive." While in Pakistan, Samia stayed in touch with Ali, reassuring him of her safety. On July 18th, she visited her aunt's grave with her father and shared updates about her family. The next day, she comforted Ali, who was troubled by a bad dream, asking him to pray for her safe return to Dubai. Samia had planned to return to Dubai in 2 days, but on July 20th, she suddenly stopped responding to messages. Ali's texts went unread, and her abrupt silence left him deeply alarmed. That evening, a distraught man contacted the Pandori police station, reporting the death of his daughter. When officers arrived, they discovered Samia's lifeless body at the base of a staircase. Her shoes were scattered nearby, her handbag lay at her feet, and her face was partially covered with a black scarf. The foam was visible around her mouth, and her eyes were closed. The man, identified as Samia's father, claimed she had fallen down the stairs in the home she shared with her husband, Shakil. When asked about Shakil's whereabouts, he simply shrugged, stating no one had seen him since her death. Soon after, Samia's mother and sister arrived in Pakistan, having been informed of the tragedy. Her body underwent an autopsy before being handed over to her family for burial, which was conducted the same day in accordance with Muslim tradition. Initially, the police found no visible injuries or signs of violence, and her death was not deemed suspicious. However, conflicting reports soon emerged. Some claimed Samia had suffered a heart attack or an asthma attack, while others speculated she had fallen and broken her neck. Local media even suggested she had taken her own life due to depression over not having children, an allegation her family vehemently denied. Ali, meanwhile, received a call from one of Samia's cousins, who told him she had died of a heart attack. Refusing to believe it, Ali suspected foul play, thinking it was either a cruel joke or an attempt to keep her in Pakistan. Determined to uncover the truth, he immediately flew to Pakistan. Upon arrival, he faced the devastating reality: Samia was gone. Ali went straight to the Pandori police station, adamantly declaring his belief that his wife had been murdered. He shared details of her divorce from Shakil, their secret marriage, and the tensions it had caused within her family. His revelations prompted the police to reconsider Samia's death, raising suspicions of an honor killing. However, with Samia already buried, progress in the investigation stalled. As news of her mysterious death reached England, her father publicly denied Ali's existence, insisting Samia had been happily married to Shakil and dismissing Ali as a blackmailer. Meanwhile, Ali obtained a copy of the autopsy report, which revealed chilling details: a reddish-brown bruise encircling her neck and a cause of death listed as strangulation. Male DNA was also found in her body, raising further questions. Ali suspected the local police had been bribed to dismiss the true cause of death. Outraged, Ali held a press conference in Pakistan, sharing evidence of the bruising and demanding justice. His actions garnered significant media attention, but also placed his life in danger as he began receiving death threats. He was soon placed under 24-hour police protection. Back in the UK, Samia's friends rallied to keep her story alive. They contacted a member of parliament from Bradford, urging her to help uncover the truth and hold those responsible accountable. The case took a pivotal turn when the MP intervened, writing directly to the Prime Minister of Pakistan to demand justice for Samia Shahid. She boldly labeled Samia's death an honor killing, which led Pakistani authorities to launch a full-scale investigation. The probe gained momentum when Shakil, who had initially fled, was located 8 days later and brought in for questioning along with Samia's father. During his interrogation, Shakil confessed that he had tried to force Samia to annul her marriage to Ali and stay in Pakistan. He admitted that he was enraged by her leaving him and refusing to allow him to join her in the UK. On the morning of July 20th, Shakil searched through Samia's belongings for her passport and return ticket in an attempt to stop her from leaving. Finding nothing, their confrontation escalated. In a violent rage, Shakil raped Samia, an act later confirmed by the presence of his DNA. When Samia tried to flee, he caught her, wrapped her scarf around her neck, and strangled her to death. Investigators believe that in her attempt to escape, Samia encountered her father, who gave his silent approval to Shakil. Muhammad reportedly held her legs as Shakil tightened the scarf around her neck, ensuring her death. Muhammad then tried to cover up the crime, claiming it was an accidental fall. Despite the confessions and growing suspicions, securing a conviction in court was difficult due to a lack of concrete evidence. Samia's death was ruled a homicide, but the absence of solid proof meant both men avoided full accountability. In September 2018, after 2 years in custody, Shakil was granted bail. Although he confessed, his admission was deemed insufficient for conviction under Pakistan's legal system. He remarried a British Pakistani woman in 2019 and applied for a spousal visa to enter the UK, seeking the life Samia had denied him, but his visa was rejected. Samia's father also faced legal challenges. After spending 4 months in custody, he was released on appeal due to insufficient evidence. In January 2018, he died in a Lahore hospital from kidney failure at the age of 52. Arrest warrants were issued for Samia's mother and sister in October 2016, but they managed to return to the UK. There, her sister provided a different version of events. She claimed that their family was progressive and never forced Samia into anything. According to her, Samia had often voiced dissatisfaction with her life in Dubai, accusing Ali of financial exploitation and revealing a far less luxurious lifestyle than portrayed. She believed these accusations had ruined their family, leaving them in poverty and disgrace. Despite these conflicting accounts, one thing is undeniable. Samia Shahid was a young woman whose life was tragically cut short, betrayed by those she trusted. She deserved the freedom to make her own choices, but that right was stolen from her. The men of the Shahid family, bound by their own concepts of honor and control, tragically failed to understand that no one has the right to take another life. Thank you for listening to True Crime Pulse. Share your thoughts on the story, like and subscribe to the channel. Until the next episode when we bring you more crime stories, stay vigilant.